My nephew unearthed my hidden truth, a narrative steeped in treachery. I am Kali, and as I recount this tale, I feel as though I am teetering on the brink of vulnerability, laid bare and unguarded. This journey is profoundly personal, a secret I've concealed from those I cherish. Yet, by expressing it, I may start to untangle the complex emotions that reside within me. Last summer, my brother and his wife placed their trust in me, asking me to look after their son, Ethan, while they embarked on a weekend getaway. Ethan had recently crossed the threshold into adulthood, a bright and contemplative young man whose very presence appeared to envelop the atmosphere in a veil of uncertainty, prompting those around him to ponder the depths hidden beneath his seemingly effortless facade. I agreed without hesitation, picturing a series of simple days brimming with movies, treats, and cheerful conversations. The initial day unfolded in an eerie stillness, every second laden with unarticulated potential. Ethan and I became enveloped in a comedy series, our laughter resonating as we traversed the absurdity of the jokes, the heaviness of our lives lingering in the atmosphere. Unvoiced yet tangible, all appeared mundane, yet I remained blissfully oblivious to the tempest that loomed ahead. The following day, as the clock inched closer to late morning, Ethan nonchalantly revealed the startling news that he was on the verge of heading out to meet some friends. In the solitude of the house, a wave of relief enveloped me. As I stepped into my bedroom, a sense of calm enveloped me, inviting me to leave behind the chaos of the outside world and indulge in a few cherished hours of tranquility. The door stood slightly ajar, a threshold to uncertainty. I lingered, fingers dancing over my screen, the burdens of existence heavy upon my shoulders. At last, I made the decision to seek out something that would elevate my mood, longing for a glimmer of happiness in the midst of darkness. Everything seemed to be in its rightful place. The thought of Ethan returning ahead of schedule never even crossed my mind. In an unexpected moment, the door burst open, startling everyone in the room. Startled, I whirled around to see Ethan standing there, his face a canvas of shock and disbelief. "Kali, I forgot my keys," he said quickly. Yet the turmoil in his eyes betrayed a deeper truth, a storm brewing just beneath the surface. In a moment that felt suspended in time, the world around me froze. A rush of warmth flooded my cheeks, an intense embarrassment wrapping around me like a cloak as I desperately sought refuge, wishing for the earth to open up and consume me entirely. "Ethan, you ought to knock," I managed to say, my voice trembling with apprehension. His eyes flickered to the side, brimming with apprehension, as he cautiously retreated a step. With a voice that barely rose above a whisper, he murmured an apology. "I'm sorry." Before he turned away, the heaviness of his departure lingered in the air. The rest of the day stretched on in a dense, oppressive quiet, every second laden with unvoiced thoughts and lingering unease. Ethan turned his eyes away, and an unsettling heaviness settled between us, thickening the air in a manner that felt distinctly unfamiliar. That evening, as we lingered in the softly illuminated living room, I sensed the gravity of the moment shaping the atmosphere, and I realized it was time to face the lingering shadows of what had occurred. "Ethan," I began, my voice scarcely rising above a whisper. "Regarding the events that transpired earlier, let's simply agree to overlook them, shall we?" He nodded quickly, but his expression revealed nothing, cloaked in enigma. Indeed, I thought that would signify the end. Yet an uneasy tension lingered, gnawing at my mind. In the days that followed, Ethan started to spin a tapestry of excuses, inching closer to me with a fervor that was undeniable. The air thickened with an undeniable closeness, our gazes locked in intense stares that felt almost dreamlike. Yet, beneath it all, an emotional tension began to weave itself intricately between us. On a fateful evening, while I was diligently tidying up after dinner, Ethan unexpectedly drew near, his demeanor laden with unvoiced thoughts. His voice trembled, yet it carried an unwavering determination. "Kali, it's time for us to have a conversation." I turned to face him directly. I held the damp dish towel tightly in my hands. "Indeed, what occupies your mind with such weight?" "I find myself unable to shake the thoughts of what transpired," he admitted, his face blooming with a rich shade of red. "Ethan, it was an accident," I exclaimed, urgency threading through my words. "It's wiser not to dwell on it. It transcends mere words," he remarked, as he bridged the gap between them. "In your presence, a transformation occurs within me. The world around us seems to dissolve into nothingness. I can lay bare my soul, revealing my innermost thoughts without trepidation." His words hit me unexpectedly, like a sudden flash of lightning. A profound conflict stirred within me, enveloping me in a thick silence, as I longed for him to shatter the stillness with his voice. "You're a person I trust entirely," he continued, his voice quivering with unexpressed emotions. "I sense there may be something beyond the surface, a deeper emotion that resonates within me." His confession hit me like a bolt from the blue, rendering me completely at a loss for words. Ethan was my nephew, and just the thought of anything that crossed the sacred boundaries of family sent a chill racing down my spine. Yet, as he lingered there, vulnerable and genuine, I found myself unable to dismiss the emotional fervor that left me bewildered. It seemed inherently flawed, and yet I discovered myself powerless to look away. "Ethan," I murmured, "this must not be permitted to transpire." "You're everything to me," he replied, his voice quaking with unfiltered emotion. Yet I have never experienced such emotions until now. I placed my hand firmly on his shoulder, striving to ground us amidst the swirling fog of uncertainty that enveloped us. "It is essential to set boundaries, regardless of how profound your feelings may be. Action cannot be taken on them." Even after our conversation, the atmosphere between us lingered, heavy with unspoken tension. Ethan's presence hovered around me, an unyielding emotional burden swirling inside. Even as I tried to focus on my own existence, his unyielding messages and surprise appearances lingered, shadowing my every moment. On a fateful evening, the tranquility of my phone was shattered by a message from Ethan. "Could I possibly come over? I have a matter of significance to address." Amidst the palpable tension, I summoned the courage to speak at last. "Indeed, quite well." As he stepped through the door, a somber look settled upon his features. "Kali," he began, his voice quivering with a sense of urgency, "I understand that you feel this isn't just. Yet you occupy my mind entirely. Yet I find myself unable to break free from your magnetic allure. Your presence surrounds me with a profound emotional clarity that no one else has ever been able to inspire." "Ethan," I asserted with fervor, "this transcends our personal desires. It is a question of fairness. Why does it evoke such profound emotions?" He insisted, his voice quaking with frustration. The silence wrapped around me, creating an unsettling chasm of uncertainty. In all honesty, I found myself swallowed by doubt. Yet, beneath the surface, I grasped that we must stand firm against the surging wave of these feelings. As the days unfolded, we held tightly to a delicate semblance of normalcy. Every exchanged glance and each solitary moment shimmered with unvoiced tension. Ethan's raw emotional honesty swept me into a tempest of feelings, urging me to confront the profound depths of my own emotions. Emotions I was woefully unready to recognize. For years, the very fabric of my marriage had become frayed and worn, each thread drawing tighter with the weight of unspoken words and unresolved conflicts. My husband, Thomas, often seemed distant, his attention captured by the unyielding pressures of his work. The profound void of desolation I encountered with him only amplified the emotional turmoil I grappled with concerning Ethan. On a night steeped in destiny, as Thomas set off for his business trip, Ethan's message pierced the stillness. "I need to see you." I replied, "Not this evening. The circumstances are far too complex." His response struck like a thunderclap, reverberating through the stillness. "Please, I vow to keep my distance. I urgently need to converse." Even as the warning bells echoed in my mind, I found myself uttering a reluctant yes. As Ethan drew near, he hesitated at the threshold, a storm of uncertainty swirling inside him. Yet his determination remained steadfast. "I don't want to make things harder for you," he said, his voice quivering with unvoiced feelings, "but I can't act like I don't care." I released a deep sigh, stepping aside to grant him access, the atmosphere laden with unvoiced sentiments. "Ethan, we've encountered this challenge previously, I understand," he stated, his tone steady, though a tempest raged just below the calm exterior. "Still, you deserve joy, and it hurts to see you in turmoil." His words sliced through the stillness, resonating with a chilling reverberation in the atmosphere. He was undeniably correct. My marriage had devolved into a hollow pretense, and Ethan's presence illuminated the emotional emptiness I had failed to recognize for so long. Yet, acknowledging that felt akin to crossing a threshold from which there would be no return. "Ethan, this isn't about what I deserve," I pressed, my voice quaking with fervor. "It is a question of justice," he acknowledged, his gaze filled with a profound sorrow. a deep comprehension swirling in their depths. I wanted you to grasp the profound nature of my emotions. In the wake of that pivotal evening, I pledged to repair the delicate fabric of my marriage. Tomas and I dreamed of a weekend getaway to rekindle our connection, but the divide between us felt more daunting than ever. Every attempt to spark a conversation dissolved into an unsettling silence, leaving me tormented by thoughts of Ethan, more than I was willing to admit. As we crossed the threshold, a weighty awareness descended upon me. The understanding that everything must transform. I discovered myself ensnared in an unyielding battle, entangled in the painful clash between my responsibilities and the chaos of my emotions. Ultimately, Ethan and I maneuvered through the intricate dynamics of our relationship, skillfully walking the fine line that maintained our closeness while preserving a sense of restraint. Our connection remained steadfast, yet an unvoiced comprehension hovered in the air, a tangible tension defining the limits we hesitated to breach. The road ahead was laden with obstacles, yet it was a journey that could not be escaped.